Good evening, Bulls and fellow gamers. Tonight we bring you Dota 2 in NACE Starleague Challenger Division, where the gold team is going to be facing off UCSD Esports Dota in round 6. I'm your host, Braden, aka Dinkle, and alongside with me is the Vice President of Dota 2 Club and the ex-offlaner for the gold team, Daniel.
Hey guys, Daniel here. I'm going to be co-casting today with Dinkle. I'm excited. This is our last match of the regular season. USF is 4-1. Excited to see where this match goes.
Yeah, as you said, tonight's an exciting night because it plays a big role into USF Gold making the playoffs. So just a reminder, this is a best of 3, and we'll be going over just some brief stats about the teams. UCSD, like you said, is 4-1 on the season. All-time record, they're 12-6, so they're a pretty competitive team. Do you know anyone personally on the UCSD team, Daniel?
I think I queued into one of the players once, their captain, in one of my pubs. He's like, I think, Immortal player, ranked 2000 or something like that. Position 5 player. I think he's our captain as well. Plays a lot of Oracle, a lot of Wisp, and yeah, just plays a bunch of save, I guess.
And I believe that person is Portalus Wind
Yeah,
or
portable something like
yeah,
that.
he's definitely a really good support player. I've seen a lot from him. And I know that they have a pretty good mid as well, if we're not mistaken. But so
Mm-hmm.
do we. We have Watson Dota, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure he'll be able to manage that pretty fine. Um, Anything specific you're looking forward to seeing tonight, like matchup wise?
New patch came out. Looking for some new heroes, maybe. Um, I'm excited to see what they've practiced so far. Um, Maybe they picked up some new heroes they want to test out. They think that they're strong. Um, but yeah.
You're telling me you don't want to see Spirit Breaker?
I mean, you can switch it up sometime, sure.
That's
But
fair. That's fair.
yeah, I
Well,
think this team earlier this season they scrimmed USF, but I think we lost. So I'm excited to see like what we've learned so far throughout the season and what we can put together in this last series.
yeah, me too. Something I'm interested in potentially seeing this is a potential is UCSD has 5 Meepo games, and out of those 5 Meepo games, they're 100% win rate. And Meepo just got buffed, as you mentioned, new patch.
Mhm.
So it'd be pretty interesting to see some Meepo come out.
Yeah, I didn't really read the patch notes that well, but I saw his win rate go up a lot. Um,
Yeah.
that's always good news for those Meepo spammers, people who just have like that pocket pick that they can, like maybe potentially last pick in a captain mode series like this. But yeah.
Yeah, and just a little brief history on UCSD. They went 2-0 on UCLA Gold the previous week, and then the week before that they lost to University of Massachusetts 2-0. So they're bouncing around too. We've had a lot of forfeits this semester, but that being said, I think we're a pretty competitive team. I think when the team works well together, or like plays well and is in sync and has the game plan that they initiate, I think, and they when they execute it properly, that's when USF Gold is gonna have like good games. So,
Mhm.
um, well, while we wait for the game to start, we're gonna send it to break. Oh, just kidding. We talked enough, so we are going straight into the draft with 2 bans. All right.
Mhm.
What do you notice right off the start, Daniel?
So UCSD banned Tiny and TA. Those are really strong carry picks right now. Tiny recently got a buff, and most teams are just like first phase banning it. Um, on USF Gold, we banned the Wisp and the Timbersaw. So I'm assuming UCSD probably plays a lot of Timbersaw and Wisp, as I mentioned earlier. I think they're the captain of UCSD spams a lot. Um, so right now they started with okay. So we first picked the Grimstroke, and UCSD opens with a DP Clockwork, which is pretty flexible, can go in many positions. Um, but USF Gold then picks a Beastmaster, right? And for those of you who don't know, Grimstroke's ulti allows for any single target ability to also hit on whatever the other leash target is. So they're gonna have a double roar for this game.
Yeah, and that's definitely gonna have some serious impact, and we know that's a Mark's special too. So I would see that being banned out next game, assuming this goes well for USF Gold.
Yeah.
I do have some insider knowledge as well. I think the ban on Tiny for UCSD was a wasted ban, whereas this Medusa is not a wasted ban. Tam does not like to play Tiny. He actually is not a big fan of it, even though it's got a pretty good win rate right now. But Medusa is something that they practice and something that they like to play. So I think that's a pretty big hit for Tam and his hero
Yeah.
pool.
Um, so far USF Gold, they're just banning out. They banned out the PA and the Chaos Knight. I'm just assuming those are heroes that Marx doesn't want to play against. Um, and it makes sense. That's why they second pick this Beastmaster, so they can use the next three bans to ban out counters for the Beastmaster in the lane. What they're basically trying to do is just trying to secure Mark's game with by securing him like a strong lane. And if he gets that kind of strong lane that he wants, then he can potentially just snowball the game with it.
Of course. So your USF Gold's plan is to secure the off lane, and when you secure the off lane, what does that enable you on the map to do?
So when you secure the off lane, usually that means that you can take the enemy safe lane tower and just kick out their carry. Probably force their carry to go jungle early, which with this new patch I don't think is very strong because they buff the jungle creeps. So it's something that USF Gold can take advantage of. And eventually, once that Beastmaster gets his items, he gets his book or the Helm Dom too. He can maybe rotate mid and take mid tower and eventually just secure the whole map for USF.
And when you secure the map, that means you have effectively more net worth, which means you have a greater chance of winning the game. So we see Morphling banned. Um,
Mhm.
that's kind of a Tam hero. So
Yeah.
I see a lot of carries being banned. So they really think carries coming out next, or what's their idea with this?
So Tam is essentially like the highest ranked player on USF Gold. I'm just assuming that they're just respecting that and just banning carries that they don't want to play against. Um, and he's definitely done his homework on UCSD captain, because these are definitely heroes Tam is really comfortable on, like Morphling and Medusa. Those are probably like two of his best heroes. So it's it's just some nice respect bans going out.
Respect bans indeed. They will probably be respecting, like I said, that Beastmaster next game.
Hmm.
I have a feeling Marks is just going to go off depending on the draft. But, um,
Yeah.
speaking of TAM picks, they banned PL. PL is not really a good laner, so like it's not a strong hero in the sense in the early game. So maybe we see like a tempo carry come out potentially.
Yeah, I remember the last time UCSD played against USF Gold, they picked like a Wisp Luna opening. Maybe they might go back to like just picking out a Luna with another save hero, or just any hero that can just buff up her game. I think Luna shouldn't be too bad early against the Beastmaster because she can jungle really well anyways in case the lane goes wrong. So let's see. They pick. They have 8 seconds left in their regular pick time. But they still have a minute left in reserve time.
And they come
And
out
they
with the pick.
pick,
That's the Oracle.
you know, so that's Pordloswin's, Pordlos, that's one of his main heroes. He plays a lot of Oracle. I think I've even played with his Oracle once. Yeah.
Yeah, Oracle is a favorite of mine. I feel like it requires a lot of IQ, not only game sense wise, but mechanical skill. It's definitely demanding for a support player, whereas, normally support players are joked on for their lack of their mechanical skills. So you definitely
Yeah.
see like higher MMR supports picking heroes like this because they can really make it have a lot of impact. And
USF Gold goes with an Ogre. So these are just really like comfortable picks for USF. Um, they pick these supports. Like I think the support duo like almost 60% of the time. Um, and usually it just works out, right? Like Ogre is just a really strong hero in lane. Um, if you just click your spells and you can just like bully people out of the lane. So it's definitely something the USF likes to, lean back on. Um, but now they're gonna have to pick another core hero. Maybe they're mid. I'm assuming.
Well, I know Pierre might be a little bit happier playing this hero opposed to Bane, but maybe not.
Yeah.
I like the Ogre Magi. I know it's considered brain dead, but like you said, it bullies people, and then not only
Mhm.
that, but you eat so many spells, and you can still live. Like you have a really high strength, really high
Yeah.
like armor. Like it's even through the nerfs, I feel like Ogre Magi is like just really good.
Yeah. Um, and I I'm a little confused why they picked it just because like, they just picked the Oracle. But I'm assuming they just don't want to, like, because Oracle has the Dispel, right?
Yes,
But they come out with a TP. So usually I
interesting.
don't expect them to pick Tam's hero this early, but since it seems like UCSD is just banning all the carries, they probably just want to secure themselves a strong carry pick. And TB's that hero that with space that the Beastmaster makes, he can secure a lot of farm for himself. He can push out a lot of waves just by sending illusions everywhere. Who will get a bunch of net worth, and he can eventually just carry the game. It's also
Yes.
really strong at pushing towers, so in case he wants to join in early, helping out the Beastmaster can be really impactful early.
Yeah, the only concern I would have with the TV is that it doesn't like burst, and you like to get really low to Sunder, and Tam's gotta watch out for like this Oracle. I mean, we know he's a high MMR player, so if I'm an Oracle and I see a TV pretty low, I'm looking to secure that kill with Purifying Flames.
Hmm.
So that's something to watch for. Hopefully, we don't see that happen for USF Gold's sake, but biased commentating. Um, but we'll see.
So 25 seconds left for reserve time on UCSD. Let's see what they come out with. So their heroes are pretty flexible. I'm assuming this DP is going to go on like a core role now, just because I don't think Clockwork's too strong in any core position. Um, so it might be a mid DP, it might be an offlane DP. Um, and this next pick, they pick a Clink. So Clink's kind of similar to like the Luna pick I was saying earlier. It's just a hero that can, buff himself. It can like do well with buffs and stuff. And I think they also mainly picked it just because against the Beastmaster, he has like the AoE damage.
Yes.
Um, just delete summons and stuff, and maybe hold the tower for a little bit longer. But yeah, and right now
Does
they're gonna ban all 2 heroes.
Clinks doesn't have that good of a win rate though, does he right now? I thought he got nerfed a little bit.
Yeah, I'm not sure how strong of a hero it is right now, but I think the
Well,
concept is generally still the same.
yeah,
Um,
he's still got a 50.7% win rate.
mhm,
Um it looks like yeah, it looks like he's doing pretty good. He's going for the Gleipnir and the treads. Okay.
yeah. So USF Gold bans out the Batrider. It's just I think Batrider is pretty good against TV. Um, might also be pretty decent against the Beastmaster. It's also just a hero that most mids don't want to play against. It's kind of cheesy. And they also ban out the Leshrac, right? Leshrac's also really good against the Terrorblade. He can just he has AoE damage against illusions, and it's also decent against the Beastmaster. He has AoE damage against the summons. UCSD bans out the Storm Spirit, so I'm assuming it might be a respect ban for Watson. And
And the Invoker too. Watson
yeah,
Invoker is always fun to watch.
hmm they have 9
But they're out
seconds
of
left on
time, so
the.
they go for
They
the
ban out
Ember
the
ban.
Ember.
Okay.
Ember.
I don't think USF Gold would be looking for an Ember here. I feel like Ember might have been a little too greedy. Or
Yeah,
I
I
don't know.
think Ember just like against the heroes that UCSD has, it's kind of hard to play. Like Oracle can just purge off his E. Clockwork's just a tanky hero that doesn't really die that quick. Same with DP. It's decent against the Clanks, but when you have an Oracle that can just save you, then kind of feels bad to play Ember against that.
Yeah.
Um, but USF Gold's gonna look for their last pick. 10 seconds left. Um,
We're looking for a mid here, so
yeah,
maybe Void Spirit? I'm thinking it
maybe
might be Void Spirit.
that.
Oh, Quap.
Okay,
Okay.
co-op.
All right.
So Pop is just generally, I think, a strong hero right now. She didn't get affected that much by the patch. Not too many nerfs, and she was just like a really strong hero last patch. So I think it's just a decent pick.
Yeah, Quap
Um,
is still winning lots in my pubs. I feel like it's
mhm,
very like a nuisance hero. Win rate did drop down to 47%, but
mm.
I think it's still a good hero too. And then we got Juggernaut coming out. Okay.
Okay, so kind of strange. I'm assuming it's a mid Clinks now carry Jug, but I didn't. So the Jug heroes usually, or the Clinks mid is just usually pretty greedy, which is why I didn't really expect it. It's not really played that often anymore. Um, but let's see how it works out. Maybe,
Maybe he goes Ags for tempo. I'm not sure how you would make that work, to be honest.
yeah. I think UCSD's lineup, what they're thinking though, is just like, we have a Clinks that can just click Q and just delete the wave, right? And maybe that's what they think will stop them from, facing strong tower push that USF Gold has. And they think that maybe they can just get away with greedy lineup. But I'm not too big of a fan of their draft right now.
So if you were to pick, you're leaning towards USF Gold unbiasedly.
Unbiasedly, yeah. Maybe biasedly too, but
That's
I
fair.
think
I'm always biasedly going towards USF Gold because go Bulls.
USF just has like kind of every component that you would want in a draft. It's very well rounded. They have strong, like hard carry. They have tempo. They have stuns. They have team fight. So they have a lot, I think. Tower push. So yeah.
Yeah. I know when we see Watson play Quap, he's very good at being able to split the map when they're behind. So I like that aspect too.
Hmm.
Granted, you would hope with a Beastmaster you're coming out on top in lane.
Yeah.
Um, so we'll see how it works. But I think they, like you said, they're really well rounded in the sense that they have like every aspect of what you would want from a draft. So um, definitely learning from DNM. I see.
Yep.
And I know we mention it every time, but 800 games on Beastmaster is just crazy. 800 games. It's
Damn.
gone up since the last time. It was at like 100. So, all right, we have a quick pause from UCSD. Um, I guess a quick bathroom break. All right. Um, if we want to like click on heroes and see starting items, maybe. So Quap's pretty traditional build. Clockwork, Ward,
Nice
okay.
board builds.
Yeah, that's yep.
Oracle shots
And
out a stick. Um,
okay,
Clanks hasn't bought anything
Clinks
yet.
hasn't bought items yet. Okay, and then yeah, it looks like pretty normal builds. And then Marks is definitely rushing that Helmadom, not
Yeah.
Helmdom. Yeah, it would be the Helma
Helm
Dominator.
of Iron Will.
Helm of Iron Will. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely his signature for Beastmaster. So
Mhm.
um, we will see how this all plays out shortly after this quick bathroom break from UCSD. I'm not even sure this is allowed in the rule book, but you know what? USF Gold is being a bunch of gentlemen and letting it happen.
Alright, we're good. We're good. Okay.
Alrighty,
Right.
let's play some Dota, boys. USF Gold versus UCSD Esports, NACE Challenger Division Round 6. This is a very important round, so we better see some high tempo gameplay, exciting, lots of screams from Quap, lots of roars from Beastmaster, and maybe not a lot of Omni slashes in the favor of UCSD. But alrighty, so Quap and are we see? Maybe we see a little first blood action. We're getting some pings from Purple. That's the captain of USF Gold. Uh, they don't see it, but they just dropped a ward. Clockwork did. That's a pretty normal spot for a pause 4 to drop a ward. They get vision of the pool camp and they get vision of the interior, so they can position themselves properly. Um,
Do you know the ranks of these
so
players?
good.
I do not, and Dota Buff doesn't have them. That's what's strange. Like
Oh,
I
I see.
clicked on, like normally it says in the top left, but maybe it's because it's they're playing in a series. They block it out or something. But
Yeah, I think on Dota Buff, like, they have like an esports section, and they also have like a regular section. And like when you're looking at it for the esports section, it doesn't show you the ranks. But
yeah, let me see if I can access this.
ooh,
Okay, all right, we got
oh,
some.
Watson started with E, didn't start with the Q, so it doesn't seem like they'll have any kill potential here.
So when you start with Q, so there's two builds to go with Quap, correct? You want to explain both builds?
So either you can start with E, which is like a nuke that you can use to maybe secure a last hit in the mid lane. You know, generally it might be favorable when you think you might have a hard time going for it, which you might think it could be versus a Clink. So you can also just get the Q to potentially pressure people out of the lane, and you can also just get it for the first blood, right? Just because it gives you more kill potential. So your E on Quap, your Scream of Pain, is usually just for farming and maybe a little bit of harass, and your Q is just to like bully people out of the lane.
Right on it. And we
So
see
10 starts with 4 last hits. He didn't miss anything.
nice, good first wave for USF Golds. We see early support trading back and forth. Pier and Clockwork going back and forth. Missed a little bit. Oh, we're gonna see a courier snipe from the
Nice.
captain. Good little 25 gold for each. I think even if he falls for this, this is still worth. But Ogre's a chunky boy, so I think he's okay. Unless DP comes over to, yeah, no, he's okay. So pretty good CS from Tam, 8-0. Okay, let's go. So if you're DP in this situation, I feel like it's really hard to last hit against a TB. Not only does TB have higher attack damage, but the attack animation on DP, and maybe it's just because I'm a noob, but like it is atrocious. Like it's super slow.
They tried to fix it, like I think a patch or two ago too. But, it's not the greatest.
It's not the worst, but like you said, it's not the greatest. And Siphon doesn't care about armor, right? Is Siphon magical?
Pretty sure it's magical.
Okay. So for those non-Dota players, TB is a high armor agi hero. So magic damage just negates armor, so it doesn't really matter. So like physical damage, like this Clockwork clicking him, Tam does not care about a Clockwork clicking him. All right, so we see some early trading with Quap, and Quap's getting out traded by Clinks. Yeah, maybe not.
He doesn't really care right now though on Watson because the rune is coming up.
Yeah.
And usually Clinks doesn't go for like an early bottle, so he doesn't have regen anymore. He might just try to tango up, but Watson can just come back to the lane strong again.
Yeah, we see something to notice on the off lane. Oh, first blood coming out from Watson.
There you go.
All right. A little bit
600 HP, that's from that bottle charges they got.
It's a little aggro, and, you know, Mark's being a gentleman and giving him the tip. But something I wanted to point out is look at Jug's last hit, 17-7. Offlane's getting a lot of denies going on. So this Jug and Oracle is a pretty good combo together, it seems.
Yeah, Jug Oracle is usually a pretty strong lane. Anytime you just get queued by the Oracle, you know, Jug can just spin on you and just take away like half your HP.
And the captain's going after another courier. Oh, Clockwork puts him into the cogs, and Panda's gonna use both of his abilities, but still gonna fall for this. Tam using Metamorphosis, and we see Mark's dying in the top lane. Ayup going for the stun, but I don't think it's gonna do anything. He's gonna have to retreat, following back. Meta was popped in the bottom lane though, so that's something to note. Meta's gonna be down for a good 2 minutes, and hopefully Tan gets some CS with this because he's contesting with Jug, and they're even besides denies, and Jug's denies go up again, so Marks could be struggling with XP here soon.
Ooh, maybe they get the kill here.
Okay, Meta's still up, so they have. Oh yeah, that's a kill. Yep. Good kill by Tam as Meta just expires, Well played by the captain, getting the stun in and ignite.
I wonder what the Clockwork was trying to do there. I have no clue what he was trying to do.
Yeah, he definitely looked a little out of position, and there was no ward for him to de-ward, so... Alright, so we have Watson de-warding in the mid lane, picking up Bottle Rune, and then we have... Yeah, see, Marks is level 3 versus Jug, who's level 4, so... But, to be fair, it's a big level difference in the mid lane. As they're going to spin onto Marks, followed by the Root of Oracle. Will Marks get out of this? I don't think he will, as Spin's going to tick him down. And he gets the crit, followed by Purifying Flames, and that is a dead Beastmaster.
Oh my god, if Watson had Dust, he would have died.
If Watson hits Scream, that is probably a dead Clinks. Wow. You know, but they say the safe play is always the right play.
Yeah. I think Aop is slightly misplaying top lane. I think he needs to play the lane more with the Beastmaster. Can't really leave the Beastmaster solo early.
We see jump in and Scream's whiffed.
Watson misses the ulti, gets a tip.
Oh, we're getting some BM already from UCSD. Okay, as you mentioned, they did have some scrims in the previous semester as well as this semester. So we see Aop getting spun down. Beastmaster just slowly clicking down the Oracle though, so it's going to be a fair trade-ish. But Beastmaster's got to be careful here, as Jug is level 6 and could Omni him, but Panda stunning Clockwork, just clicking down by Tam. Tam is not going to secure this kill, I don't think, unless he metas. And there's the Omni slash, Beastmaster falling. That's tough.
Beastmaster right now.
Yeah. You need levels on Beastmaster, and the 14 denies is pretty glaring. But Watson coming in with the rotation. That's not Stroke of Fate. What is that? Oh no, the spin. And they're not even going to get a kill out of this. This is a bad rotation from USF Gold, as both mid, offlane, and soft support all fall for that rotation.
So early game, I think USF is misplaying a little bit. I think the Grimstroke needs to play with the Beastmaster a little bit more, because he's basically just getting comboed on over and over, and the 4 isn't really there to help. If the 4 can at least tank the spells from the Oracle, then maybe that's a win. Or maybe even if he dies for his Beastmaster, then it's still fine. But right now, I think top lane isn't going how they wish it would. Also, just because Watson with that ulti mid, he didn't have ulti either for top for the Jug kill, so it didn't work out very well for USF.
And we saw meta being used and stun as Pier just makes it out alive in a little trade in the bottom lane. Both heroes in the off lane for UCSD are low, so this could be effective farming for Tam, even though he used meta. So Pier's gonna pick up those 2 bounties. They're gonna dive Aop for this. Yeah, Aop's gone. I think Aop's done. Yep, that is the power of Purifying Flames. That's probably a level 2 or level 3 Purifying Flames, and there's not much you can do in that situation if you're Aop. Who's TPing bottom? Okay, no, it's the other team. All right, Watson Dota jumping in, using Dust. Stun coming out by Ogre. Is he gonna ulti? It's not gonna be enough damage, and it is enough damage with Scream. Oracle's coming in from the side.
He gets Arcane Rune as well.
Oh, the Arcane is huge. They're going to get Oracle out of this, as Oracle falls as well. And that is a very nice trade. They should be pushing this mid tower off of that.
The tower's already half HP. It seems like Beastmasters didn't have a really good game. It's going to go to the jungle. Bottom lane, DP's still getting a decent amount.
Yeah, DP's level 6, so I'd expect Exorcism's going to come out here soon to take this bottom lane tower maybe, but TB can defend the tower pretty well with his illusions and meta if it's up, so I think it's fine for a little bit.
Yeah, until the DP really decides to push the tower, I think it's fine for TB to stay in the lane. And also,
this is a really good kill for Marks. Oh! Yes, it's a kill for Marks. Marks is going to get this. Oh, did I speak too soon?
Jinxed him. Oh, he's gonna.
No! Mark's microing. Oh, Mark's is going to go for the greedy play. This
Does
is
he have the
definitely
root?
up his alley. Is he going to get the root off?
Oh
Doesn't
my
matter.
god. He
At least
actually gets it.
he gets the kill. That's 400. Yeah, that's an effective win, I would say. Oh, yeah,
Okay.
because Clinks could be going down here. Oh, we had a bad
Directly
trade in the
Panda's
bottom lane.
falling.
Yeah, Tam and Panda go down in the bottom lane. Quap's going to
Yeah.
take out this Clinks, though, I think. And Ayup takes... Yeah, that's Exorcism used. So they're going to take that bottom lane tower. And Watson's still trying to find this Clinks. And he does not
Doesn't
have
have
any more
pulse
detection.
on? Yeah.
He dusted him the first time, but it ran out.
I see. Yeah.
At least he gets this regen rune, though.
I think this late into the lane, TB probably shouldn't be in the lane anymore, especially by the 10-minute mark. TB is a hero, like I mentioned, can jungle pretty decently. And DP, once she hits 6, she's just gonna have that kill potential, which I guess USF just didn't really recognize, and they put 3 heroes bottom, and all of them died. So it wasn't the greatest, but they were able to get Jug kill top. All the heroes are just distracted bottom lane.
Yeah, that was definitely Marks knowing his potential to take out the Jug, and Jug being a little over advantageous on the lane there. And at least they get the Jug kill, like you said, and they do get mid tower for it. So definitely trading mid tower for bottom is ideal in the way of USF goal. Is you get more map out of taking the mid tower.
And look at DP's gold now. She's basically tied with the Terrorblade just from that little triple kill that she just got. And that can just easily be avoided just by the TB going to jungle earlier. But it seems like they go top, they get the top tower as well. So they traded towers. It seems like the Clinks is also having a really bad game. It's only 3,700 net worth. Just 1k ahead of his pos 5. So he's not having the greatest game under mid. Which is pretty good for USF to hear, knowing that Clinks is just a greedy hero that actually needs items. So,
and smoke pops as dust is used, silence followed by stun, and that is a dead Clinks as they click him down. Ayup getting the kill. Roar used on Jug. They're gonna go for more as Jug is gonna just spin. Is Jug's gonna fight this because Oracle's in town, so Oracle can keep this.
Jug is ulti as well.
Okay. Clockwork coming in as well. Okay, ulti coming out from Grimstroke. This is a bad fight. I think they need to leave. Oh, Watson jumping in with the 4-man ulti, killing Juggernaut.
Ulti and also deletes the Jug. What a play.
And he's being healed by Oracle. Oracle did not purge off of the heal, so Watson gets the 4-man ulti, the kill, and full health as he's going in for more. Watson wants more.
He has haste room. They can't really kill him. Unless he gets silenced here.
Unless he gets silenced, followed by cogged and rooted. That was odd indeed, but Watson not calculating that one fully. Haste rune normally keeping him alive. Exorcism being used in the middle lane to take this mid tower. Not much they can do about this, I don't think. I think even if they bring heroes to this is not a good fight.
I think you might want to meta the tower.
I guess I'm jinxing this.
Yeah.
UCSD respects the TPs. Okay. I think if UCSD takes that fight, I think they have a really good chance of winning that fight.
Yeah, I think EXO's running out though, so they might not have wanted to push for it. Also, like, they don't really have any damage once EXO's out, right? Like, the Clinks just has like a really bad game, and Jug's farming bottom. They just use his Omni Slash. So I think it's fine for them to respect that and just back off.
And I believe we're seeing Quap build Orchid. Correct? Is that what I saw?
I'm not sure.
Queen of Pain. Oh, Clinks' items are sad. Look at Clinks' items.
Yeah, so Queen of Pain. Yeah, I think that's the new Orchid.
Yeah, that's the new Orchid build. Okay, as Watson can be in trouble.
He missed it though.
He missed the hook shot, just blinking out. Watson Dota living to fight another day. DP's top net worth. That is a big offlane TB as Tam just overtakes it. You would expect, you know, TB to be top net worth in a good game because, like he said, he's got illusions, farms the jungle fast.
Yeah. It's just that this DP's been getting a lot of favorable trades recently in these fights. I think he just got like, he probably already has like 2 triple kills, I think. Once in the bottom lane, once just now in the triangle. So her game really gone through the roof.
USF Gold smoking, and so is UCSD smoking. They're both heading in the same direction towards the Beastmaster.
Smoke breaks for both teams.
Smoke breaks. Silence
Top
coming out.
links in.
This is a scream coming out. Oracle falling for this.
And they're going to get the DP as well. Watson dodges the hook shot. They get the Grimstroke ulti.
Well played by USF Gold as the fight still goes on. Juggernaut spinning in. This is a dead Juggernaut. What is Juggernaut doing?
Jug is alone. That was not his play to make.
That was a very questionable
The Oracle
play.
died. Maybe if his Oracle was still up, we could probably just like false promise him, but that did not work out the way he wanted. And that's not good for his game.
No.
Now Tam is just 1k ahead of.
And just like that, they're going to take Roche. Yeah. This is really good for USF Gold. I think we're seeing something I wanted to mention is I wonder if they flexed Clinks and they were thinking that they could play Clinks, what do you call it? Clinks carry. And then they just saw that it wasn't a good carry game for Clinks. Because like you said, Clinks is not farming well. And I think DP is taking on more of that mid role now, it looks like.
Yeah. I think it's not something that they like planned, but it's more so just that, you know, like Clinks didn't have a great game, so they're just gonna start relying on this DP a little bit more to go in the shoes.
And mild question mark play by Watson. But they do have Aegis, so Watson is going to be okay in this as Ignite's used and Disarm is used on Oracle, so no damage is going to be further taken by that Clockwork.
Regardless, they have the Catapult Wave. I think they're going to look to push it. Go for the tier 2.
I think USF Gold would have liked to get more out of that Aegis, but...
yeah. I guess Watson just... One, he didn't see the TPs. And 2, I guess he might not have been expecting them. I'm not really sure what he was thinking. But 10 is 9.5k net worth. That's really good for a TV. So I like to see. I'm looking at good carry players. Just farming up like really well. Watson's here looking for Q. He's blinking the Oracle. I think that's his game plan just for like every fight.
Yep.
And
he blinks in the right spot, getting Oracle with the scream. Roar out used on Clockwork.
Double roar?
That was a double roar used.
DP is dying. Oh, she has the BKB though.
BKB used. Is this going to keep DP alive? Omni's used. I think Tam could turn. Oh no, okay. Mark's TPing. They want out of this. Mark's getting away just on the hair on his chin, laughing it off. Probably maybe 2% health. So EXO was used, BKB was used, Omni was used, and USF Gold's about to be up. To me, that screams smoke. Would you like to see USF Gold go for a smoke play here?
I think they don't really have to look for a smoke, but more so just like make their way back to the top side of the map. Just because they also use like double roar and Grimstroke and meta and pop ulti. So I think what they should just do for now is probably just chill and farm and try to make their way back to the top lane and just pressure again. Because I think they can definitely take a much better fight soon and just take the tower as well from that.
All right, and if you're UCSD, you're rewarding that area because you know they're going for that as Ogre takes the haste, heading straight up towards yellow, which is A up. So both supports are playing top side of the map without their cores. I think the cores need to farm their way to him, correct? That's the play you're wanting them to do?
So I think the pink player, the Oracle, just like drew out by the top side of the map, basically just where both supports are. Maybe he has a read. They also have that one cliff ward on the Dire. That's actually kind of hard to deward if there's heroes there, but right now UCSD is playing in the bottom lane, so I don't think they can really contest it. Just like that. Oracle. Ooh, Clinks is going on the Ogre.
That was Clinks' kit, and that's 25 or 75% of Ogre's health. That's a decent amount of damage. Clinks is catching up there. DP looking to pressure the bottom lane. That's gonna probably either force a rotation or force USF Gold into trading the towers.
No, EXO, I think USF definitely takes this tower. I think now they can just back off. They don't really have to respect this. They go on Marxist. Do they want to save him somehow?
Hook shot used. They have double roar.
Watson goes in.
Double roar used. BKB on. That's BKB and false promise on DP. Ogre falling. Marks falling. So wait, how did Ogre come back alive? What in the world?
I think he
Ogre
died
wasn't there
earlier in
for
the
the fight.
fight.
Okay, Ogre wasn't there for the fight. My bad. So it's just Marks that fell for that. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Because it said 3 seconds. All right.
So unfortunate they got caught by the hook shot, but it's whatever. They got to tier 2 out of it, and they're just gonna, just walk back right there to the top side of the map and try to farm there once their heroes are up.
It is better the off lane than the carry or the mid lane to be picked off there. So, I mean,
Oh my
ideally you would want
god.
like the pause 5, but Watson getting in some danger here as he pops the illusion rune and is going to make it out alive as Clinks was heading his way. I think Watson's got to be careful. I don't think he will die by the Clinks. I could be jinxing this, but
You see the jug? He's just dying to the
taking
illusion.
so much damage from the
Yeah.
illusions. Okay, Tam's 12.5k net worth. I bet he has Manta and he's going for Scotty next is what it looked like. So
Yeah.
yeah, that is a big TV. They're grouping up on UCSD. Yep, they're going for a smoke, 4-man smoke. Jug just misses the smoke distance. Probably
Yeah.
getting yelled at by his supports as they just wasted 50 gold.
I don't think he has to be in the smoke though, because usually when you kind of Tim disconnected. Well, I was gonna say though is like usually on your carry, you don't always need him to be smoked unless he's like some kind of like blink hero or something.
Okay.
Just because you can kind of use him as a bait, right? Like they have saves for him in case anything goes wrong. And he also has spin anyways, right? In case they getting Uber Eats. But in case they try to do something to the jug, he can maybe just spin fast enough. He also has a manta. So they might just be thinking to like try to bait the jug, let the jug give them vision, and they can try to follow up. Yeah.
And as good of insight that is, I can't help but chuckle at the captain's response for Tam leaving about getting Uber Eats. You know, I would like to believe that that's not true, but you never know with these guys. Man's got to eat, as the captain states. But we will be
Nah.
shortly back here soon. I'm sure it's just a disconnect.
Mm.
I believe. He'll be back here soon. So
Yeah.
no worries on that. And this is you could say this might be a tactical pause. This is a good time for the guys to reset and look at the map and see. I think if they look at the map right now, there's a good chance that they could like predict the smoke. So I hope they're assessing the map right here as they should be.
Mm. So I think UCSG they chose a good time to smoke because they pushed in bottom lane pretty well, and mid wave is like pushed in all the way as well too. So usually it's kind of hard to make that kind of read just because no one's showing on waves and waves are pushed in already. So that's usually like a great time to smoke. Maybe USF Dota gets a read on it, but we'll see how it goes. Um, I don't think they have any wards in their own jungle right now.
All the
So I don't
wards are
think they
top
see.
side.
Yeah, they don't see the jug or anything like that. But
Really, two really aggressive wards in the top side.
mhm,
Which I like those wards. They're not bad. I mean those are UCSD's ward, which is it's a pretty typical defensive ward, but the wards behind them where they're showing the like the back lines, those are solid wards where like they give good information where um like the quap can blink forward and make plays. So and that's you were talking about that they want to play the top side of the map. You effectively get higher net worth on the top side of the map as Radiant. So those wards help secure that too, as they can see who's coming into the jungle.
mhm.
Um,
But yeah, right now it's looking pretty good for USF. Um, Tim's top net worth, and that's basically what they're relying on right now. Just Tam's farm, Tam's game. He's gonna have Scotty coming up pretty soon. I think he has like the ultimate orb on his career.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken, he might not. I'm not sure.
No, he
But
does not. But
okay,
he's still pretty close. That's what, like
yeah,
two. No, that's actually like 4,000 gold.
3,500 something like that.
35. Yeah.
So
Which
yeah, the next 3 4
3K.
minutes he'll probably be there.
Yeah,
And that's basically the strong timing of TB. You get your Manta Dragonlance Scotty. You can just kite out everyone in the fight. It's really good versus Death Prophet. It reduces regen, slows her down. It's good versus a Jug. You can't spin away as fast because it goes for BKB. So, and overall, it's just like a classic Terrorblade item. But yeah,
definitely. Um,
wait,
just
he's level 14 on TB. Am I reading that right?
say that one. Yeah, four and one. Is that
No,
what
is he
you're asking?
level 14 on TV?
Yeah, he's 14, level 14.
So usually on Illusion Heroes, they're usually gonna be kind of low on XP just because their illusions are farming out a lot. But um, level 14 is kind of unusually low, I'd say. Like for the game that Tam has, where he was like 13k net worth or something, at 21 minutes, he could probably be like even higher than the Jug. I'm assuming he's more so prioritizing his illusions to hit the creep waves, which is probably why he's a lot lower level than he should be. Because creep waves are generally going to give more XP than would jungle camps. So maybe that's something that they need to look at after the game once they're doing the replay analysis and stuff.
Definitely. Yeah, that is I think as most games for USF Gold, they play well and they execute, but there's definitely points where they can like improve on, and there's no such thing
Mhm.
as a perfect Dota game. So um and that's why we have good old DNM to review these games and help them improve as amateur collegiate Dota players.
Mhm.
So this pause is a little bit longer than probably anticipated. That we do have a built-in um
City
we
is
do
a
have some humor
fertility
coming
gauntlet.
out, so he just might be um so I I think it might be internet issues. I know Tam
Yeah.
on game day plays at USF, and when I was at class today, the internet was a little spotty. So
Mhm.
it could be that.
Yeah.
Um we'll
He's at the
see
St.
though.
Pete campus though, right?
Yeah, St. Pete campus. I think it's still the same. Yeah, no, it
I
would be the
see.
same. But
Who knows? But
um,
maybe he got kicked out the library. Who knows?
yeah, he still appears to be in Discord, but that happened to him yesterday. So we'll see. We'll see. They have a built-in 15-minute timer, so essentially UCSD has to be gentlemen for 15 minutes.
Mhm.
I hope it doesn't go to 15 minutes for not only our sake, but the viewers' sake and everyone else. But technology issues are pretty common, especially as not everyone is playing on the same hardware. So, and our give a quick shout out to our producer this time. He is Garrett, and he is putting in a ton of work into making sure Dota 2 production is on point and definitely upping our production value by a lot by making it very close, if not pretty much on par with professional level Dota. So
Oh, he's back.
Tam is back. Okay, I didn't even see
Right.
him reconnect. I was too busy shouting out Garrett. But
Yeah.
yeah, we are back, and Tam Dota is ready to play some. Oh, no worries. A little bit of miscommunication. UCSD is now probably all right. Now they're ready. We're ready to play some Dota. Sweet, sweet.
Mhm.
As just a quick reminder, UCSD Dota is on a smoke play, looking for USF Gold, as USF Gold is trying to take the top side of the map.
Mhm.
DP just deciding to break the smoke and push in the middle lane, so maybe not much to come from of this smoke play.
Yeah, they put that high ground ward in Radiant jungle, and they're basically just gonna play this bottom side of the map now. They have mid wave pushing in and bottom wave pushing in too. So USF kind of has to do something about that. Usually when you're trying to pressure the other team, you want to make sure you have like two ways pushing in, which is something like DNM emphasizes a lot. And that can just be fixed by Tam cutting the mid wave, which I think he's doing right now. We also seem to be slightly pressuring high ground, which obviously UCSD doesn't want. With a team like that has a Beastmaster and a Terrorblade, they're gonna have to be careful pretty soon. But as you can see, the Clinks is cutting mid wave. They're basically just stalling out this game till the Jug and the Clinks have items. But yeah.
And it's like a mirror projection of each other, and TB's farming. So win condition for USF Gold is TB getting his items, and win condition for UCSD is Clinks and Jug. So it's who's gonna mess up, right? It's pretty much who's gonna make the small minute mistake and who's gonna get caught out to snowball this series of events, I think. But as you mentioned, the pressure and I feel like I could be wrong, so correct me. But USF pushes further, like you said, so or pushes harder. So I would think pressuring that top like tier 3 would force more pressure on UCSD than if UCSD was pressuring like a T2. So I feel like USF would be okay with trading a T2 for high ground.
So I mean, I'm not really sure like how well UCSD's high ground defense is. I think maybe the DP can with like Rocket Flare and just like DPQ. Maybe they can just kill the creeps or something. But when USF or when UCSD is like pressuring two lanes and they're getting two tier 2s, and while they like also have a chance of holding high ground, I think that's something USF kind of wants to make sure doesn't happen. Like in case like it's just the bottom tower that's falling, then they should be okay with that. But if it's also the mid wave, then it usually means that they need to try to cut the mid wave as well while they're trying to go high ground. And right now they're doing just that. I guess they're just sick of this Clinks ratting mid, and they've just taken the mid tier 2 and traded it for the bottom tier 2. And the bottom tier 2 usually doesn't matter too much for the Radiant, so I think that's a fine trade. And basically USF is just trying to play for the second Roche timing, and with that they'll probably just go high ground. TB 16k net worth, once he gets that Aegis, will be really big, and you have to kill him twice, so it's just gonna get much harder for UCSD to play. Kuna Pin coming in from the top wave. Everyone's just chilling right now. USF's just waiting for that Roche.
And Roche timer is 1 minute and 5 seconds, so
I'm not sure if that's the exact timing or if it's like a potential timing. I'm not really sure how spectating.
I think on spectating it's accurate, but I think it's what 6 to 8 minutes or.
So after you get the first Roche, which is like 5 minutes, then I think 3 minutes after that. So from 8 to 11 minutes after the first Roche, that's when there's a chance of Roche.
Okay. Popping. See, this is why we have the expert level gamer on the panel, because otherwise I'd be just spewing misinformation in my noob 3K Dota ways.
All good.
I'm interested to see though, like this. It's gonna happen. It's the next series of events is gonna be pretty crazy. It's gonna like you said, they're gonna get Roche, and then we're gonna see a big fight. And then until then, I think it's just like who's gonna mess up. So pretty methodical Dota, maybe a little bit boring for the viewership, but it's gonna pick up here soon. So
yeah, and this next fight can be pretty game deciding, right? Like in case USF subs up somehow, UCSD, that's basically their chance to win. Like the second Roche matters a lot for this USF lineup, right? because they want to get this Roche and they want to go high ground with it. And they've called out the smoke, so they know the Roche is up now.
And Panda's gonna break the smoke. That is huge. Pause 5, breaking the smoke, eating the hook shot. Scream coming out. Did Roar get used? I don't think Roar was used.
They used Roar.
Omni coming out from Juggernaut, getting pushed away. Mark's falling for this. A up falling for this. Ooh, Juggernaut's falling though.
Oracle ulted the illusion, it seems.
Oh, that is a mess up from Porta. But I think they're gonna win this fight though.
Goes.
As Tam doesn't have Sunder.
So I think the main problem with that fight was just the Grimstroke getting hookshotted. So yeah, Watson's gonna die here as well. Yeah, I think it was just literally just the Grimstroke getting hookshotted. Basically made enough time for him to not click his spells, so they couldn't get their double roar off. And it was also just like really good play calling from UCSD. Like they knew exactly when that Roche was coming up. They probably marked the timers and stuff, and they noticed like everyone was missing off the map. So, like I said, like now the game plan is kind of different for USF. They don't have that Aegis that they wanted to initially play with to go high ground with. So now it's just a matter of who messes up the least and who gets the most off the map. They're smoking up again. They're recognizing like if they get some picks here, they can get some serious map out of this. So,
and that they might do, as TB has now finished a Chrysalis, so there's some damage coming out from DP or from TB. But yeah, the smoke breaks, and it doesn't look like anything came out of it besides the D ward. So good for USF Gold there that no one got hit, but Marks could be walking up into his death. But this is a 3-on-3, 4-on-3, as Ayup's going to get spun down, followed by Hookshot, and this is going to be Panda trying to TP out, but he cannot go anywhere. And Marks is going to fall. No, he's not going to fall. He's safe, and it looks like Marks has a Force Staff. So,
does he?
Yeah, he does have a Force Staff.
Oh my god. So, something I was just going to say was, like, USF, their draft, they don't really have any saves. So, they're probably just thinking to, like, help this TB out, like, if he's getting Spirit Siphon, they probably just want to push him out and stuff. I was hoping, I was going to say, like, I think Tam's next items should probably be just like a BKB and a Hurricane fight, right? Because, so he can actually, like, kind of tank spells for his team, because if he can do that, then, and, like, allow, like, the double roar to just come out and, like, not let the backlines get jumped, then, USF's fights are going to look a lot cleaner.
Yeah, he goes for Daedalus, so maybe he'll fulfill your wants. He looks like he's going for Satanic. I guess that's okay. As Panda just living, TB using meta, DP using Exorcism and BKB, Scream coming out by Quap, not doing any damage to DP, as Oracle disarms himself, tries to scurry away, gets away just in time. Watson's got to be careful here as he almost falls, and they need to just not fight into this DP ult, I think. Like, they can't burst DP. They need to just back away as Marks Force Staffs himself away, getting rooted by Oracle and inevitably falling down as Hookshot comes out and gets on Ayup, and this is just 1-by-1. I think it's going to be... Oh, okay. I guess Ayup's going to live here as potentially... Jug is gonna die. Oh, just barely, as Ayup secures the kill on Clockwork, and
Tam might be in trouble.
Tam is in trouble as he does not get Sunder off, gets silenced, and is dead for 68 seconds. This is trouble for USF.
That's kind of why I was like suggesting the BKB and the Hurricane fight, just because like there's not, like, you could argue that there's not much for the BKB, but if he's getting Spirit Siphoned and it has like the fear, and like he might get silenced or he might get like Oracle disarmed and stuff. There's just a lot of things that like he has to kind of play and like time his mantas and stuff perfectly. And I think that's just not something they can really afford to do. Like right there, like he just got like 100-0 by just an Oracle and Clinks. And that was just because like, he got rooted, he used his Manta, now he has nothing left because he's getting Spear Siphon and VP silenced. But yeah, UCSD takes racks with that. Oh my god, he bottomed
Watson
that.
BKBing, getting out just barely as he
Oh my
TPs.
god. If he didn't BKB, it actually died there.
Wow. What's stunned, though?
So I think Clockwork has his Ags now, which
Oh,
basically
okay.
lets him refresh his spells, but I think like after a bit he gets stunned. That's why you saw like 2 pairs of cogs.
Yep.
Um,
Okay.
and he probably went for a double hook shot, but I'm surprised he even went for that play. That's really, really bold.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I guess low cooldowns. I mean, like as hook shots already back up, that's crazy. So yeah, Ags is definitely a really good item on Clockwork. Tam's still holding top net worth, but overall USF Gold being down 5k net worth. I think, I mean, obviously the net worth is leaning towards UCSD, but I definitely feel like USF Gold's on their heels right now, and they need to find something that's going to claw them back into this game. As we see, what's who's Pink? Pink is oh yeah, Oracle. You've been saying Oracle's had really good game sense, and like yeah, he's been circling some really good like point outs on where the team is. So
He has an Octarine called down. He's fine.
is a farmed Oracle 9k net worth. That is more like the pause 4 at this point.
Yeah, he definitely knows the limits of his hero. Um, he probably just plays it a lot. He knows how to play his lane well. He just has really good game sense as well. All just complements each other. Everything, you know, that you'd kind of want on like a captain position 5 player.
And UCSD getting a gem. Clockwork pinging it, so I'm not sure who's going to be picking up that gem. It's Clockwork himself. Scotty finished on Clinks, so that could be trouble. I mean, so you see TV building Satanic. I mean, it doesn't like negate Satanic, but it definitely doesn't help the situation at hand. So yeah, I think you're right in the analysis that TB definitely needed a BKB here. So we'll see if that comes to punch them in the long run.
And like at this point of the game, like it's just that. Oh, and the ogre's gonna die here.
He
He
did
broke
break
the
the
smoke
smoke.
though,
Yeah,
so
he
goes for a
broke the.
blind hook shot as well on the clock. But yeah, it's just like at this point of the game, like if TB gets silenced or rooted, just like he can just instantly get deleted. Just because like they ran this like dual core lineup with like the jug and the clinks, which are gonna scale really hard into this late game. And
Yeah.
at this point, it's just like too much damage for the TB to deal with.
That's a 2-man
Watson
scream, but I
pops a
don't think much.
BKB.
Yeah, not much is gonna come from
And I
this.
think he's dead here. Is it double hook shot?
Double hook shot into Cogs, into Barrage, Arrow Barrage, or whatever they want to call it nowadays. Clinks has changed a lot, so I don't know what the spell's names are for that one.
Burning Barrage, I think.
Yeah, Burning Barrage. As USF Gold is on their heels, as mentioned, as they're going to have to try and defend this high ground, and I don't think there's much they can do, as Tam can go in, use his abilities, and try and delay the push, but they just take racks and tower like that fast.
Yeah. It's
But
looking kind of hard for USF right now. The Quap's damage, I feel, kind of falls off. And the TB essentially just has to 1v9 now.
and granted, the top lane is pushed, and they do have a T2, so there is time for him to get a little bit more items in play. But Clink's having MKB and Scotty makes it really hard for TB to ever really take a fight, and then, yeah. I honestly don't know how they. I don't know how they take the fight unless they take it like a 5v4 or like a 5v3. So we'll see how USF Gold claws their way back into this one. 9K net worth in favor of UCSD Esports. They are pinging. There is some action going on as Quap jumps in, blinks. Ulti is used on the Clinks as Quap needs to be careful here from the second hook shot. Ogre's going to fall for this by the Jug and... Okay. Tam's feared, yeah. Tam's down. He does get Sunder off, and that is a 4-man ulti, but in the end, it's going to be a dead Tam and a dead Beastmaster. Yeah, I don't think they can take 5v5 fights, as Roche is available for UCSD, and they're going to get Roche and potentially just push top lane and end the game.
Yeah. Seems really grim for USF right now. It's just what I mean, like, USF doesn't have any saves, so Tam doesn't have, like, really anyone to rely on to, like, help him out there. So when he just gets, like, Spirit Siphon, there's really not much he can do. He can fight for maybe, like, a second or two, but he's just gonna die right after once he gets stunned or feared.
Does Lotus Orb stop the fear from happening, or does it just make him, the other person, get feared as well? DP.
So I assume both people are just gonna get feared.
Okay.
But like, regardless, that means that like Lotus has to be clicked preemptively. And they also like Beastmaster isn't like a hero that can frontline and stuff, right? So it's kind of hard for him to position himself in a way where like he can get that clutch Lotus Orb or something, because he might just die for it anytime he tries it.
As the captain makes one final last effort to make a stun, getting hook-shotted into the inevitable death, and we might see one last hurrah as Watson jumps in, BKBs, silences, and is going to get clicked down through BKB. Tam is going to right-click the Jug as Jug gets ultied by Oracle. False Promise coming out, Omni going through, Watson buying back and dying back. And this is just a dead USF Gold team as GG comes out from the captain, and that is game one of...
Yes. Terrible if you didn't see, he clicked Satanic there, but he was clicking the False Promise Jug, and since that's basically doing 0 damage, he got like 0 HP back from it.
As I don't know if stream heard that, but Siri was trying to add input onto the game. But that was game one in hand. UCSD is up 1-0 in round 6 of Challenger Division and NACE Starleague. We will be right back with game 2 and the draft phase. Thank you very much. Welcome back to round 6 of NACE Starleague Spring 2022 Challenger Division, where USF Gold looks to take on UCSD Esports and retrieve a victory after a game 1 loss. We're seeing some early bans right off the bat. A respect ban from USF Gold. Is there anything that you would like to see USF Gold do better in the drafting phase that they didn't do last game?
I think they should respect ban the pause 5 player on UCSD. He played just really well on the Oracle, and I kind of want to see like what happens to this UCSD team once their pause 5 player isn't on those like comfort picks, you know. So
okay.
Yeah.
UCSD respect banning marks. I mentioned it in game 1. Most people don't let that go through to game 2, even with a loss. I mean, like, Beastmaster is just such an annoying and an like obtrusive hero, and has so much impact. And then the Tiny ban. They don't know that Tam doesn't play Tiny, but it's just a really strong hero right now, so makes sense. And then they did respect ban the IO from the pause 5. But I think we're going to see Lich pause 5, as I have done a little scouting, and that is another hero of Pord's that is his favorite. And a quick update regarding that since we didn't have ranks before. Horde is an immortal 1200. Um, Another noteworthy player on UCSD is Mute 2009. He's an immortal 4000. And then we have the Mango's a divine 5, and then a couple of the other ones are like divines as well. And then a refresh for USF. Tam is immortal 590. Watson is immortal 1000. Marks is divine 3. Panda's divine 4, and Ayup is ancient 3. So
So they come out with Mars Snapfire Lane. I think Marxist isn't like, I don't think he's like too fond of like this Mars hero, but I think in like a competitive match, it can work kind of differently, especially when like you coordinate the Snapfire pick. Usually the Snapfire Mars lane is like really strong, but UCSD comes out with a life stealer, so I think UCSD is like equally as strong. They might actually even have like the better lane, I think. But
yeah, Lifestealer does pretty well into those like tanky offlaners. And then
like, sorry, continue.
And then Lich is one of those heroes where like he just dominates the lane. Not only does he pump out so much early game lane damage, but his shield is such a save that people underestimate the damage reduction on it is just like
Mhm.
absolutely crazy.
Yeah, exactly. Like once they kind of get the ball rolling in UCSD's lane, I think the Lich might have enough levels to like put some points into his shield, and that way like the Snapfire Mars combo just isn't as strong. But the respect band, the Oracle, I mean they just picked the Lich. There's no way they put Lich on pause 4, so a little weird. But they also banned out the Timbersaw. USF just picked 2 strength heroes, so it's probably just something that they don't want to play against. And UCSD again, they're just banning some carries. They banned the Razor, they banned the TB. They just don't want to give USF those comfort picks. They banned out the Deuce as well.
Yeah, Tam on his comfort picks normally ends in games like round 3 where he goes Wraith King and gets rampages. So respectable. You know, highest MMR player on the team. Typically want to target those kind of bans, and they ban another big tanky offlaner. So they obviously see that's one lifestealer 5 lich. So and I think the Bane here is actually a pretty good pick, right? Because you can ulti through rage. So
Yeah, it's definitely good versus Lifesteal. I like that pick a lot.
I'm sure the captain Pierre is thrilled to be playing Bane, as we all know that is his favorite hero. Cough, cough. But
Honestly, I don't even think like the hero is like boring to play. It's more so just like he's played it a lot. But I think in competitive matches, like it's kind of different because like in a pub you might get bored, right? Because you're just playing for fun. But like in a competitive match, it's kind of like a completely different mindset where you get thrilled from winning rather than just playing like random stuff. So
makes sense.
they come out with Avenge. So
What
I think UCSD is like drafting kind of decently. Like Venge, it's just long range cancel for the grip, and if anything, a save as well. So that's really good.
you think this is 4 or is it 3? I've seen, and this could just be legend pubs, but I've seen a lot of Venge 3 lately. Like I think I've seen it 3 times, and I've only played maybe a handful of games in this patch and ranked. So
I know it was like kind of popular last patch. I'm not sure if they changed much. Ooh, they come out with the techies.
heck,
Alright, that's something I want to see.
yeah.
It's just new patch, new heroes. It's kind of a
Thompson Thompson's been destroying with it in SEA. Have you seen his pubs lately?
I
He's got like a
haven't, but I
71% win rate with techies in the mid lane.
heard. Yeah.
So this is I think techies can be viable. I know there's a lot of hate on the so little little context is Techies was one of the most hated heroes in Dota because it didn't fit Dota. It was like it was joked as the minesweeper hero, and it just got a rework this past patch, and it's a completely different hero in a sense. It still has mines, but it's like higher tempo, and like it doesn't just sit back and like play this like tower defense game.
Hmm.
So it'll be interesting to see how they play it. I would assume this is mid techies, just off of my first hunch. But we'll see what happens.
I mean, it could also just be like the Venge 3 and Techies 4, but maybe they practiced them in Techies. So who knows? And yeah, so like before Techies was just like this hero that like if you didn't have True Sight where he places his mines, um, he could eventually just like essentially just like 100 to 0 you. And that just feels bad when you're just walking somewhere on the map and then you just like instantly die. So a lot of people like they just really dislike playing against it. Um, but now they reworked it and people are I guess are just like more excited about the hero.
Excited indeed. And USF Gold picks up the Templar Assassin. And this previous Galaxy tournament, that was the most notorious hero of the entire tournament, as casters were being quite ruthless to the hero and saying it was very boring to watch. Um, it's pretty powerful. What's your thoughts on TA this game?
uh, I mean, TA's been really popular like these past couple of patches. Um, this game, I think it's fine versus Lifestealer. I think it's fine versus the Techies. Techies, in case they put it on like the pause 4 position, I don't think TA really cares about because she just has a refraction. Um, and it's also just good with like the minus armor from the snap and um, like for example, if Mars gets a spear or like Bane gets a grip, they're just like held in place and TA can just kind of right click them down um, with no restriction. So it just kind of fits the draft really well, and it's something I know Tam has popped off on a few games. So
Yeah, I think TA fits that like stereotypical flash farm hero too, because I mean, like right now, you are not farming the jungle unless you're like a hero like TA, or have an item that's like Battle Fury because of how strong the creeps are.
yeah,
So TA is able to flash farm really early on, get such an early timing that they're going to look to play for Roche, and that's kind of the USF Gold strategy, especially when they're playing from the Radiant side, is they want to control that top side of the map. They want to put wards up. They want to play for Roche and slow siege. It's a good game plan. So
yeah. They picked this Pugna hero. So Pugna has an ability called Defra, which basically any hero that he uses on can't take any physical damage. So that can be like his allies or um, even the enemies. So in case someone gets like uh, gripped or like speared by the Mars and he like blinks in tries to click burst them down, he can try to like save them so they don't take that physical damage from the TA. Um, but it's an interesting draft from like UCSD. Like um, I wouldn't say like it's like some crazy meta draft. Neither would I say was the last draft, but they seem to have like a game plan that that they like fully understand and like know how to execute. They know their timings and like how to play around it. Which heroes to play around, when to like fight, when to take smokes, stuff like that. Similarly, I think USF has that as well. There are just a few slip ups last game, but I have no doubt that USF can pull something out of this one. Um, last pick Huskar. Okay, Huskar is usually like a cheese hero in Dota. It's like just a super strong hero. Into the Pugna, I think Huskar can kind of just like zone him out. Um, it's always just like this last pick hero that if the enemy doesn't have like any strong counters to, Huskar's he can just be like the strongest hero on the map. Um, and so I'm assuming they're just gonna play around this Huskar for like the first 20 minutes of the game probably, and then kind of transition it to the TA. It's gonna be like super farmed. Um, But yeah, I've never really seen this hero out of Watson, but it seems like a hero that I'm sure he has in his pool. Kind of like that pocket pick that the enemy just doesn't know of.
Yeah, and I I don't know for off the top of my head. This looks like Pugna mid, right? The
Yeah.
Mama layup guy was
Hmm.
mid, yeah. So um I think it's gonna end up like you were saying. Yeah, I have pretty good faith in Watson playing the Huskar here. Um there's a lot of potential for it, like you said, for him to like dominate the game. Um I've seen a lot of like people play it in the pause one position, but Tam is not like at least this is from what he's told me. He's not a big fan of the Huskar. Um which, it's each their own, but the Heroes got a 56% win rate right now, so hard to look the other way at that. So we'll see how it ends up at the end of this game. Obviously, a little biased towards the USF Gold team, and we'd love to see a game three. So um, game one underway as USF Gold looks to redeem themselves, and
Prepare for battle.
we have looks like, yep, Mars snap, safe lane, yep, typical, and we have the early builds. Anything a note like anything coming out and pointing to you that's maybe confusing or interesting item wise, Daniel?
So Huskar starts off with 3 gauntlets. I'm not sure if he wants to build those into bracers or maybe he's just keeping those for stats. They also help with last hitting and stuff in lane. The Pugna came out with a quelling blade. He's thinking like it might be a little hard for me to CS in lane or last hit in lane, so I'm gonna bring out an item that might help me do that. Other than that, everything looks kind of standard. He started out stick in the top lane on Lifestealer, and Venge started with double circle and the double slippers. But it seems pretty standard for the most part.
So this is pause 3 Venge then, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, pause revenge, pause vortex.
All right. This will be interesting. An interesting draft from both sides. And we'll have to see what Marks goes on item build wise, as we see some early trade going out, Wave of Terror going out on Panda, followed by Techie's new ability, the Q that comes out. It's like a stun, or not a stun, it's like a
It's like
slow
a sticky bomb.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
like a sticky bomb that slows people. As see it goes on to Tam as he uses refraction, which is, like you said, is a good ability to have against
yeah,
that type of a hero. So
yeah. It's just I'm sure they recognize that like this is most likely going to be a Techie's 4, so they just picked up they just picked a TA. Who doesn't really care about that just because she can block it with her refraction. The bottom lane, or back in the top lane.
there's some early game support trading going on, as I think Bane matches up pretty well against this, even though he's gonna definitely take damage from this. But if as we're gonna probably see here in a second, he's gonna use his brain sap, and Bane's like one of the hardest heroes to trade into as a support versus support, in my opinion. So
Yeah, I think Panda can definitely outtrade him. He just has to be careful. Like, for example, if Techies uses his Q sometime, I think you should definitely just run after Techies and like right click him down. Maybe you can start with some early like Windlace. I'm hoping to get sticks actually in this lane, because Avengers is just gonna spam on her W, Techies is gonna spam on his Q. I think it'd be really good lane to start out some sticks. And eventually, if they get that lead on the Bane, we can start with some movement speed items. Ken didn't get that Q that popped early, but he's getting a solid, so it doesn't really matter.
range creep being secured by Marks, is he might be punished for this, as it looks like Orb of Corrosion and the slow of the shield is going on him, but as he spears him back, and he's gonna live to fight another day.
Yeah, I think Abe just needs to play the lane a little bit more with the Mars. When he's like especially going for like those like range creeps and stuff, he definitely needs the help of the Snapfire.
As Aeb's courier falls for that trade. Wait, we're seeing the lane getting pushed a lot in the bottom lane. Is that Is that something you would expect from a Snapfire Mars lane? Is you want them to push the lane pretty hard?
So usually it's not something that like you want to do, but for example, when he has to spear or like God's Rebuke for last hits, and like the lifesteal just like auto denying every single creep that falls into deny range, that's just kind of what's gonna happen. But even then, I think it's kind of fine if they push in the wave, get the pull off, and for example, if Lich comes to contest, they harass the Lich out. But it seems like their camp is blocked, and AF hasn't been able to unblock it yet.
All right, so we're gonna look for a up D ward in the off lane, and until then they could have some issues as refraction's being used, dodging the stun and this. Okay, blast off's used as he's silenced and going down to about 10% HP. Tam looking to need a salve in the top lane as some trading's going on in the bottom lane. Boots coming out for Life Stealer. Really Boots is stunned, and that's Tam's dead for that. Yeah, that's something to mention. We're gonna see this, and I've noticed this. I think it's gonna get nerfed. Is his Q scales so hard, his stun, and then he's gonna get like shard at 15 minutes, and the shard now, I don't know if you know this, it stuns and then bounces to the next target, so it's almost like a casket from Witch Doctor. It is absurd. Like I've played with it on my team and we've won, and I've played against it and I have not won against it, so it's very strong.
Yeah, Venge Q is always just like something that's kind of annoying that you kind of have to deal with sometimes when you're playing against end lane. I think what Tam can do is he can start off with like some raindrops. I'm not sure. Can you click on Pink's item for a producer? Yeah, so Tam, he has a stick. It seems like he just got it or something. I'm not really sure, but I think also what he can do is just get like the raindrops. Raindrops just like block magic nukes, and it's also just something that like is really good on TA because it gives mana regen, which not many items give for TA, right? Like you usually just need to like bring out some clarities, or like you might buy like a Sage's Mask, so it's pretty value in this lane if he thinks about going for it.
And a little miscommunication going in the bottom lane. It looked like Ayup wanted to go on that Lich as Marks backs up. I think they need to get on sync as Marks is going to be in trouble here if he doesn't get a cook. Oh, never mind. He's able to walk away. That might be early boots on green as phase boots completed by... Oh, that's 5-minute phase boots. That's pretty good for UCSD as UCSD's safe. Okay, Huskar making a play to come top. That's good for the top lane. But look at the cores on UCSD. All three are top on last hit denies. This is something that you wouldn't want to see as a Mars Snapfire lane. I feel like you'd want to win this one maybe a little bit harder.
Yeah, I think so. You'll see in like I think a lot of like high MMR pubs when you see this kind of lane, Snapfire Mars. Usually, what people do is like they play really aggressive early, like level 1, like as soon as they show, like they'll click their spells. But I'm not sure how much in sync they did that. And so, like I said, like this Lifestealer Lich lane, it's ooh, and TA. Okay, TA is chilling, but this Lifestealer Lich lane, it's gonna get like really strong like once they get levels. So, and Tam's getting, there's a rotation from the Pugna. We didn't get the sleep off early enough, but Tam goes down. I didn't even see that one.
Yeah, I saw the Pugna lurking, and I wasn't sure if he was gonna actually go for it, but he did have refraction, and refraction wasn't enough to keep him alive, as like you said, the sleep didn't get off in time. Techie's noticing stacks are being made for the TA, as this is how TA is gonna recover. This is gonna be crucial if they make a move to try and take them, or if they make a move to defend them. We'll see what happens, as Bane is going to probably go down for this, as he gets the sleep off just in time to dodge the blast off, as TA is going to right click and trade just a little bit, and not a whole lot of damage coming out, but enough to stop the kill and enough to like fight another day. So TA needs to recover just a little bit, as 25 last hits at 7 minutes is not the best.
Yeah, I think one flaw that they might look at soon. Ooh, they're gonna go on the TA again. She ain't no refraction
She
charges.
doesn't have refraction, as this
She
slow is going to
doesn't.
be pretty strong. Refraction probably coming up here. Oh, it was
Yeah,
a...
that's right.
Huh. I'm surprised
He
Tam didn't use it
just
there.
ran out of his refraction charges, so I'm assuming he just came like off cooldown.
Okay.
They were trying to gank mid lane. They missed the
3-man gank on the Huskar as Huskar uses his ability to disarm, jumping onto the Pugna. Pugna getting the shield,
yeah,
denying a lot of damage, and inevitably dying. Watson is.
So there's a few misplays from USF early. I think one, Pier's ward on the Radiant Triangle isn't the best one, just because, you know, like when they have like a life stealer, they aren't usually going to be looking for stacks, right? And usually that's not like where the mid laners get ganked from. The mid laner's probably gonna like wrap through maybe from the bounty rune, or maybe like from above the Roche pit. So if he put like a ward closer to like by the cliff near the river on the dire side, not only does that like secure his stacks, but it also secures like the TA's game, right? Because then she knows where they're rotating from. But now the techies knows what's up, and he just solo killed Tam. So that's what I mean. Like, something that people need to understand is like when you're making stacks, you need to secure them by putting vision around them. You can't just like leave them for free, because then you don't know if the enemy team has ever, you know, like walked around there and like scouted them out or something. So but yeah, just like that, Tam gets solo killed.
That solo kill is pretty huge. Is not only was he solo killed, but they have vision where exactly you would say that, you know, maybe the Dire should be having an award. So Radiant having a really good ward on that, and punishing for the lack thereof of dewarding. And it's looking like Huskar's having an okay game, but besides Huskar, you know, side lanes are struggling, and when side lanes struggle, you can clam pretty quick as map starts getting really small.
Yeah, so it seems like in both games, USF fell short during their laning stage. I think they definitely had to like look back on what they're doing wrong in like these first 10 minutes, because both games I feel like there are some issues that they need to fix. And last game, for example, they had a strong mid game timing with just their heroes, but this game I'm not even sure how strong that timing is.
Huskar TPing top, using the ulti to get close to the Venge, as there is not going to be enough damage to take him out.
Oh,
Getting
no,
juked. Oh, but that's enough. That's enough, because
nice body
Panda
block
stops
from
him.
here.
Yeah, that was a good block by the captain.
But this techies is, you know, still messing with our TA. I hope
they have to know visions there at this point, right?
I would say when like the TA is dying from fog, but maybe they just don't recognize it. Ooh, okay.
Mark's
I don't
caught
know.
in 4K.
I don't know how that mechanic works or something. Get suicide into arena. I guess it just didn't work there. I've always heard that like if how do I say this? Like if you're like flying or something, like if you're above ground, then you can like get out of arena. But, like you can't on heroes. So like on heroes like Earth Spirit or something, I know you can't. I don't think you can roll out.
No, you cannot roll out.
But like on heroes like Stark, you can pounce out of it. So.
Correct. Yeah, I think there is a depth that involved, but Mark's being saved by the weird techies mechanic, because that spear was a little off the mark, but they still end up getting the kill anyways.
Yeah.
We're going to see a lot of... I think the big thing for USF Gold, and correct me if I'm wrong, as we see a smoke coming out from UCSD, is they need to focus on this 15 to 18 minute timing from TA, and then use it to take map and then maybe take kills. So...
do we mind going to the net worth graph? Not the graph, but showing the net worth.
Net worth of each hero?
Yeah. Yeah,
All
so...
right. Yeah, 4.4 or 4.5.
Ooh, they gripped the lifestealer. We're missing the cookies, though. Seems like we got silenced just in time. Mars couldn't get his spear off. Oh, and he gets his spear off because lifestealer went back in. So they kill the lifestealer. Oh my god, and he just barely survives on Marks.
2-for-2 trade. They do get the carry out of this, but
yeah,
still not really a net positive win, I would say, for USF Gold. They need to be getting more and losing less, I think, in these kind of engagements.
yeah.
But we're seeing TA farm. TA very well has the capability of flash farming and, you know, just jumping 2K net worth in a couple minutes. So if the space is made, there is still hope for USF Gold. So viewers, do not be discouraged yet. The Bulls still have not had their timing. As Mars looking to pressure out this Pugna away from TA to make space to farm.
Yeah. TA is like also one of those heroes that can recover pretty well in the jungle. So I don't think I'll be too worried about her game. They don't have like too many heroes. They don't have like a Bat Rider or like a hero that can just like always hunt down the TA, right? They probably need like some big smoke play or something to hunt down the TA. So I think as long as Tam is careful enough, shouldn't be in too much danger. But
pretty typical item build coming out from Huskar. You see Armlet, Treads, and then BKB on the line. What item you think he's going to be seeking after that BKB?
Probably the Axe. Usually though, a lot of Huskar players they go for Sanj, but I don't think Watson's played the hero enough to like maybe know how valuable it could be on the hero. But you know, just like the regen amp. Oh, and they're going on the TA here. They have
an
4
engagement
heroes.
coming out as TA's refraction's already done, and Lich ulti coming out as that is 2 dead, and Spear coming out, followed by Arena, and that is taking out the Pugna. Is there follow-up on this? This is a really low and okay, Techies might at least fall for this, right? As Huskar has ulti out of range. Spear coming out just a little off.
This on.
All right, they see him as Techies is done for. All right, so again, a 2-for-2 trade. They need to be getting more, I think, out of this, but that, yeah, it feels bad. It feels bad to trade TA for Pugna, but
So I think TA, one way he has to do is he has to place more traps. I don't think there's any traps on the map, because not only does that like secure him vision on the map, but like it helps him know like if he's getting ganked by people, and right now he has to realize like he can't be in any sort of fight. Like right now he's going on the bench. I don't think this is gonna be too good for him.
No, this is not a good fight as Tam tries to run away. Refraction being used and done. Tam needs to get away quick because he is a low HP hero as Lich and Venge are chasing. Wave of Terror missing, so there's going to be no swap coming out as Huskar jumps in, being decrept and now ultied by Pugna, followed up by Blast Off from Techies. That is just too much damage from USF Gold. As oh my gosh, just so much damage coming out from UCSD, and that is 4 dead on USF Gold as Marks is the only person to make it out alive.
Yeah, they're just like they're not recognizing like what exactly they need to do right now. Like Tam has to realize all he has to do is hit creeps, and even if like Bane finds someone or something, like it's just too risky to go for Avenge, who was like a really tanky hero that has Ags as well. When she's so close to her tier 1.
Blast Off being used onto Bane as now they know there's vision there. Arena being followed up. Spear, Rebuke.
That was a really nice Arena.
2 falling, and oh my gosh, that is just so much damage from the Pugna Ward and Decrepify. And what is his ulti called? Saps? No, it's not Sap. Life Drain. Yeah. Life Drain.
Oh my god.
Watson jumping onto the Pugna. There's no Decrep used. Mortimer Kiss is coming out, securing the kill onto the Pugna as Tam is almost dead. Melding just dodging out the Venge full spirit as Panda buys back, comes into the fight. Gonna try and catch the illusion, as if the illusion stays alive for the full duration, I believe he comes back. They do
I don't think
miss
it's
out
not
on the bench.
a worthwhile chase anyways. But yeah, it was a really nice arena. Like really patient on the spear and everything. Yeah, USF they recognize that they kind of went too deep on UCSD, so they're just punishing that there.
Something to note out of that fight was, okay, Watson getting blast off on. Wave of Terror, stunned. This might be too much damage for Watson, and he is going to fall for this as 3 heroes gank onto Watson. And what was I about to mention was the 5k net worth lead went to 2k after that fight. So that was a net win for USF Gold, but after that kill, that is a 3k net worth lead on UCSD as they look to position for Roche.
Huskar is actually top net worth. It's actually kind of surprising. Lifestealer hasn't made too much out of his lead.
Mark's having Blink. Okay.
Yeah.
They know this is here, but this is not a fast Roche, so
Dude,
I mean, it's not slow, but it's not
they're not
fast.
making their way over on USF. They kind of
they have to know that they're doing Roche, right? As Aegis goes to the Lifestealer.
Yeah, they don't have kisses, so I guess it's kind of justified that they don't really have too much to contest Roche, especially because Huskar just died too. So
that's fair.
Yeah, it doesn't feel too good on USF, but
Tam making up for it just a little bit and softening the blow by making some pretty good farming movements, looking to push out the bottom wave as an engagement going on. Swap, arena used.
Ooh, did they get the
falling?
They got the
Pugna falling with it too. Armlet toggling as, okay, Watson has plenty of patience going on as he's about
Watson's going for the Huskar, or for the techies. Accidentally bumps him up to the higher ground.
Just out of range is oh my gosh, Watson could be in trouble for this because it's one versus 3 and there's 2 disables. And
yeah, you have to recognize like this Avenge illusion is not worth like trying to kill at that point.
Yeah, just some minor adjustments, and I think USF Gold might be having a different game here, as it looks like Snapfire has the Solar Crest and looking to buff up both TA and Huskar in fights. Going for the Yule Scepter. What is he just using silence? What's the Yule's for?
I have no clue, to be honest.
So if you're a Snapfire in this situation, what do you think you should go? You think like maybe you don't want a Glimmer Cape.
I think it's kind of fine to go for some defensive items. Usually the way I think of it when I'm playing Snap is like, if I don't really have any initiation on my team, I might just go for Blink Shard. Right now they found Revenge, and they're gonna get the kill, but once again, and he uses BKB for that.
Swap coming out.
Swap.
Yep. Watson just gonna get blown up for it because
their target priority just isn't. They don't really they just don't recognize like this Venge isn't the hero that you want to start on, right? Like she has 2 lives. Even if you like use your abilities on her the first time, she's just gonna come back, and now you're just out of position, and you've used your BKB. She's just gonna die for it. And I wouldn't entirely say that that's like Watson's fault. I think like as a team they need to recognize that, right? Like Bane doesn't have to like leak the Venge whenever he sees him, and like ping him out and like ask his team to go on him. So it's just like a overall understanding that like Venge is not their target. They need to start on maybe like a Pugna or like maybe get a free kill on Techies or Lich. And maybe that will turn the tides for USF. I'm still surprised. Sorry, I was gonna say, I'm still surprised that Watson's like still pretty close to top net worth. He's doing well in terms of farm. And this Pugna picked up a Dagon, right? So anytime this Huskar is gonna get low, he's just gonna get bursted.
As BKB comes out for Watson, they do take the Aegis on the Lifestealer, but Arena is used and Marks is going to fall for this as Cookies comes out, uses damage.
Oh, they got the grip on the Lifestealer?
They do get the
And
grip
he's
on
dead.
the Lifestealer, and he's dead. This is a good trade for USF Gold as they trade off lane for
And he's going
one.
in. Pugna decreps.
TA just barely ticking down.
They're kind of scared to chase.
Oh, the
just
Dagon taking out the Bane as Huskar jumping in, Lich using the ulti and life train.
Wait,
Oh
was
my
that the
gosh.
second time they killed Ryan?
Yes, and that is a dead Watson, but they do take out... Oh, they don't take out Pugna. Where did Pugna go? Oh, they swapped. Oh no, as Techies... Oh my gosh, there's just so much going on in this fight as TA blows up Lich, but he's going to maybe be punished for this as he does not have refraction.
Tam turns here.
Tam does turn, blows up the Pugna, and takes out the Techies.
Click on him, please, for this. Alright, we're chilling.
130
He didn't have
HP
refraction,
left.
But I'm glad he turned there.
Double kill from Tam Dota. That is your immortal 590 Bulls.
And just like that, Tam is top numbers. And it was kind of a point that I was going to bring up earlier. But like, and these heroes like TA and stuff, or even you could use like last game as an example. Just because you're like 1k net worth or 2k net worth behind the enemy carry, in a winning game, like in a game where like you don't make any mistakes, it might feel like a lot. But like in a game like this, when you're almost neck and neck, but like you might have like a slight advantage, just one like lost fight can give the enemy carry like the advantage over you. So in a hero like TA, that's, you know, just has her timing and just runs at you, it feels really good to, you know, get that bonus, that surge of gold. But,
yeah, and I think after a play like that, USF Gold has to be energized. I feel like they needed that because it almost felt like you could feel the like just grimness of like USF Gold's coming off as they just like felt lifeless. And Tam jumping in, getting that quick double kill on two important heroes, I feel like just has to jolt the USF Gold team into potentially a interesting fight here as Marks is going to just get blown up and Watson is going to use BKB and not TP, jumping onto the Pugna, probably just trying to do as much damage as he can before he dies, and maybe Bane showing up to a fight that he shouldn't have been showing up to at the end, and he's going to get taken out for this too, as I just mentioned lifelessness and three die on USF Gold. It's okay. Only 1k net worth gained from that as
Up is making space here.
Way Up is making huge space, forcing a pause 1 TP to the T2 in the bottom lane. And
shots them as well. Tam is making space top, so they got those kills, but just because USF pushed in their lanes and like they did these plays where they forced TPs and stuff, they kind of, you know, made up for it in terms of like time and map. Like UCSD just didn't get anything from that, so that was well played by them.
Definitely softening the blow as Tam misclicks BKB on live television. We're gonna act like we didn't see that one from our Immortal 590 as that was a big oof, and we'll see if that comes to bite them in the butt as UCSD looking to creep onto them and maybe possibly start a fight as they did see him use the BKB. There is a ward right on that. Yeah, there's a ward right on that.
It might be a fresh ward because they just walked up. I'm not sure.
Interesting.
Because they just walked up and like dewarded the cliff, so.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
UCSD pressuring this top lane, looking to finish out the barracks. They do have the tower already gone, so it shouldn't be too much effort of them to take out this barracks. And, you know, USF Gold might just give it to them. They do fort for this, though, so maybe they're going to look for the fight. Tam not TPing to this fight. I think he needs to be at this fight if they're going to defend it.
Can we click on pink here? On USF? Yes. So
TA not having BKB probably is why he's not showing up to this fight.
Yeah. That's really unfortunate. Otherwise, I'm sure they would have contested. This time, UCSD, they didn't have Aegis, right? So last time they were able to on USF. We were able to quickly burst down the lifestealer once, and then Marks was able to go in and arena 4 heroes, so Bane could get the grip off on lifestealer. But this time, just because we didn't have BKB on the TA, we weren't able to capitalize or even start a fight. So yeah, but
UCSD looking at Roche.
Yeah,
Tam
UCSD
is
is looking to Roche, but TA has a trap, so they know on USF. And it's not going it down too quickly either, so. Oh no. So Bane dies first, he buys back. Marks is dying. Does he have BKB? No, and doesn't have buyback either.
Is used. Huskar going
Huskar's
into
going
the pit.
in.
He's gonna get bursted for this.
Armlet toggle.
He's not able to toggle as stun comes out from Venge.
Tam needs to get out.
Disarmed. Tam running with Refraction, melding. Maybe getting Blink. Yes, he does get Blink. He is able to get out without using his BKB. That is
crucial for the creeps. Greedy. And
Tam's still looking to fight. His grip being used onto the Venge. Not enough damage to kill him as Huskar jumps in, buying back.
Huskar bought back.
Yeah, Huskar bought back. Venge is going to fall for this as Tam is very low health as Wave of Terror and Swap is used onto him.
Tam gets to blink out.
Tam blinks out and
Watson's left alone.
Watson's left alone.
He gets disarmed again though on the TA. So they bought the Heaven's Halberd and it's just paying dividends by doing so much work against this Huskar and TA. They just aren't able to right click. He picks up the Lich though. I wonder if he's gonna go for this Aegis steal. Did they have vision? Is that?
That is no.
Radiant Ward?
That is their vision.
That's
yeah,
Dire Ward,
that's
right?
Dire Ward. Yeah.
Maybe he'll go for it. Well, no, probably not.
Probably not. I think he was thinking about the Techie's kill, but if he went in, he would just die immediately.
So yeah, he's picking up the Orchid soon on TA. Honestly, I think what he needs more so is just like a Daedalus or something, right? Like either a Daedalus or Scotty, just because they have the stuns and like the control for like Life Stealer and any hero that comes up, and Pugna's probably gonna sit like behind like his whole team, so that means the TA has to blink all the way behind the team and try to like pick off this Pugna, which is usually gonna be hard when they have swaps and stuff that goes through BKB. I think what they have to play around is like letting the Lifestealer frontline, and then telling Marks to go just arena the backline, and just like how they won their first fight, and that way they can just delete the lifesteal. Their fights become really easy.
And Orchid being picked up on the TA, not following the advice of Weeb Slayer going for the Daedalus, as UCSD looking to push the mid lane and pressure the tower. As you know, the play I feel like would be to take the bottom tower, but they're maybe making a little BM move.
Something I didn't mention though is like if we can click on yellow on UCSD, I just want to check out his items. So he doesn't have any dispel, so they could also just like catch him off guard too, maybe. Obviously they have like this and Tam gets swapped back, but nothing comes of it. He did get swapped back, right?
No, he just got stunned as Meld coming out onto the Pugna, and maybe a little advantageous of a play from TA as he just gets away.
You sleep the stun then, Bane.
I don't know, is it just my screen or is your screen turning pixelated?
A little fuzzy.
Yeah, it's a little fuzzy on my end, but
that's alright.
That's okay. It appears on Twitch we are still looking beautiful. As I think the big thing here is to wait out Aegis and look for picks when they can, and like just wait for their comeback. They as we saw in a previous fight, they can take fights. They just have to take it very methodically. So we're seeing a swap on the A up, and this is going to be a dead Snapfire. I don't think there's anything they can do about it. Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. I really don't know like what the Yules does for them. I think even like a Lotus or something could be way better.
Yeah.
Thinking about like all the disarms, just like uh,
A
the
disarm for themselves would be even good.
yeah, and just like the magic missile and like covenant
Oh, true.
decreps and all that.
Hmm.
There's a lot of stuff that Lotus would have been more valuable for, and I don't really see what the Lotus does. I mean, they have BKB piercing stuns for lifestealer, so I don't know.
As Lifestealer rages, slow sieging the top lane using.
Can get
Oh,
swapped
TA
out.
gets swapped as this is a dead Tam.
And
1,000 gold going to the side of Techies
the
for
late reaction from the
UCSD,
team.
and late reaction as they feed one by one, and
Yeah,
arena used, spells are used, and there's not much that they can do in this situation as Watson and um, Ayup are left alive to just essentially watch their base get taken. Um,
yeah. That looks like GG. Just a small misstep. Oh my god. Huskar gets swapped in as well.
Huskar
Um,
swapped in and dead, as I would expect GG to be called here soon. Maybe not. Maybe they're gonna wait for one last play. As there you go. There's GG coming out from the side of USF. Unfortunately, we do not have a game 3 today, but you know, we saw USF have some moral victories in this gameplay.
mhm.
But you know, they failed to execute essentially, right? So what are some things that you would like to see going forward, you know, and them improving on?
I think they're gonna watch the replays and they're gonna see that they they kind of lost in places where they would have had an advantage. They also need to recognize like which heroes that they should like prioritize when starting fights. I think them going on the vengeful spirit like many times that game was just incorrect and it didn't pay off for them. Um, I think when they layered their fights, like with the Marxist zoning arena on four heroes and like grip the lifestealer, those were the kind of plays I really liked from USF. And hopefully they recognize like which things worked out for them and which things didn't. I think first game, like their draft was really good. Even after they lost lanes, they were able to pick back up on
Hmm.
their lane losses. And yeah, especially the lanes. I think they need to look at their lanes because I think in both games they lost majority of their lanes. So if they can somehow um, look over the replays, maybe practice their lanes. I'm sure the CSF team will go really far in the playoffs.
Yeah, and are they guaranteed position in the playoffs?
Yeah, yeah, I'm pretty
Okay.
sure they're guaranteed.
All right. So my comment earlier about them not making the playoffs if they lose is false. But Daniel brings up some really important points. They need to focus on the laning stage. They need to focus on maybe a little bit better item choices, target priority, all things that USF Gold are going to work on going into the next series. And the next series is the playoffs. So without further ado, thank you for watching. UCSD takes round 6, 2-0. Go Bulls.